Hello ladies and gents, welcome to a new review. Behind us is the new Dacia Duster, third generation. This is the Extreme package. We're going to check it out in-depth, exterior interior details. So without further ado, let's just jump into the review. Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are at our old spot. I thought it would be fitting for the Extreme. They finally opened the road so I can actually get here. It was under construction for 2 years. Now, in front of us is the third generation of new Dacia Duster. Now, in the third generation, they improved a lot because they increased the budget in general for Dacia cars. So the Duster is first example of the rest of the gamma what will be upgraded. Now, you can see the new Dacia key with a new badge. Lock, unlock, turn on the lights, unlock the cargo. So when the car is locked, I can press, but it just briefly shows the lights, as you can see, and it makes this sound. So maybe it's just easier for you to locate the car if it's amongst a lot of other cars, I guess. Keyless entry, but let's unlock. You can see folding mirrors as well. Now, new daytime running lights are flashing on the camera, not in person. So once again, if I press unlock, you can see that daytime running lights switch to turn signals. Now, it's a mild hybrid. Inside is a small 0.8 kilowatt hour battery, and it aids the little electric motor that's attached to the petrol, so it helps it to speed up, to run more smoothly, and when you brake you actually recuperate and then charge that little battery, so it's always fully charged. You don't have to worry about it. Now, with the technical details out of the way, let's check out the new beautiful, gorgeous looking Duster. Now, with this generation, it really looks more mature, more budget posh car, let's call it that way. Let's check out the details from the side here. Beautiful bonnet. Now, when you sit inside, you're going to notice that the hood is a bit taller here towards the edges, so you can't really see when you're parking great, but you do have all four sides 360 parking cameras in the Duster now. And also, what's interesting, this is the Extreme, the off-road version, so you get standard Continental all-season tires. On the other models, you get Hankook summer tires, of course. So that's the difference. And of course, Continental and Hankook were cooperating with Dacia, so they developed specifically tires for the Duster to increase the stopping distance and to allow more comfortable ride. Plus, the Continental here has a lower decibel for the sound, so there's less noise coming into the cabin. And I'm going to show you they've isolated the cabin really well because of the hybrid version. So you're going to see there's some improvements as well there. Now, sorry for the long introduction, but I thought it was necessary. Now, you can see the beautiful green metallic color. You can see the new Dacia signature and the new kind of Thor Volvo-inspired daytime running lights. You have the LED projectors here, 2 of them. But the long beam is still a bulb. They didn't have the budget for that. I actually asked the engineer that was actually developing the new Duster. Also, fog lights are standard on the highest trim. On the 2 lowest trims, you don't get the fog lights, just an FYI. Now, you can see 360 parking sensors are also standard, which is nice. Now, some of you will notice these flakes inside. Now, this material, also as all-weather floor mats, are actually 20% used recycled plastic. So that's, I guess, good for the environment. At least that's what they're telling us. Now, big bumpers, and also, so 217 millimeters of height for the ground clearance here. Now, this is a bit taller compared to the second generation. On the Extreme, the standard version is a bit lowered for better aerodynamics. Now, also the angle here, they've increased it by 1% more, so this gives you better attack angle if you are going off-road. So that's why this is curved here. On the standard model, this is like more boxy here. So you might have noticed in my review of the Journey trim. Now, we saw the new logo, and you have the camera right there. Now, also the cameras serve the purpose, but the resolution isn't the highest. It didn't fit the budget. You can see here there's a speaker. I showed you the lights. Huge thanks to local Dacia for giving me the new Duster for early review and inviting me to the press conference locally. Now, here's a cool detail. You can see a little Duster there, so that's quite cool. Now, you get the extreme Cockpit details like the side mirrors, and I personally prefer the Journey trim and the hybrid spec, but a lot of you will be looking at this as well. Now you can see they've added side tunneling for better aerodynamics, and there is now flaps inside it, open or closed in front of the radiator right there. There's a small intake on the top. And look at the hood, how pronounced it is. You also have this middle part right there. Now, some of you will notice there is no radar. Now the car is relying on the camera on the top to determine the distance. Now, radar is safer, but I guess it's cheaper to add cameras because in bad weather conditions, those are not reliable as the radar. Just an FYI. You can see the 18-inch alloys, 215/60 R18. Now, you can get also the 17 for more comfort, but this has enough meat. And look at this. It is sticking out fairly well, so you won't curb those alloys easily. Now, don't worry, I'm far enough from the road, actually no one's gonna hit me. And they've added here some plastic materials and denting materials. I'm going to show you inside. You have the new Duster signature here and 20% recycled material. Turn signals, camera. Now, windshield, there is a sensor there and the camera for lane assist and braking. Double glazed windshield, excuse me. And you can see here now on the Extreme, you can take this out. You get a tool for the screw, and then you can unscrew. So this is plastic, this is aluminum in black. So you can take these out and put them like that. So if you have to have a cargo on the top, that is that. You get this big rubberized antenna. Now there's no traffic, so I'm just gonna show you the profile of the whole car. It's nice and tall. I like the plastic protections going around. So nice. Maybe this part is unnecessary, but okay. Now, what's also cool, you get the blind spot warning, at least in the Extreme trim. You have the handles here, you can pop the plastic here. There's a physical key cylinder, and you have the physical key in your key fob. Tinted windows on the rear, standard on the top trim. Now we have this aerodynamic handle. We're going to come back to it, but they also improved the closing sound of the doors and the cabin soundproof. Look at the rear. Now on the rear it's still torsion beam, but they've made some adjustments. They say you're going to notice it slightly less, but I still notice it's not a multi-link. Now, really looking nice. Back end, you have the Dacia signature, so these are not really LED, they're all bulbs, but those are cheaper to replace when they burn out. Trust me, because if the LED burn out, you have to replace the whole light. You can see the fog lights and 360 parking sensors. Exhaust is on the left side. Now we have the still sticker here, Duster. On the Extreme, you get this in the Cockpit details. On Journey, this would be in white, same as on the front. And here is the Prestige 4x4 all-wheel drive. Now they've invested in the all-wheel drive. You have downhill assist. You have a lot of modes for the sand, mud, and automatic. Now, really looking nice SUV, I gotta say, design-wise. And here you have a little, perhaps a winch for not really towing, but maybe pulling another car out of the mud. You can see the stoplight. There's a washer nozzle for the rear wiper. Now notice the spoiler going downwards. It's tunneling air through the middle. And before we open the cargo space, just to show you, here's the petrol. So when you uncap this, you hang it here so it doesn't scratch the plastic down there. Now just checking the side here. So they've added these, but the tires aren't sticking out too much. You can see that and that. Okay. Cargo space. Well, you can see the doors open nice and tall. I'm a 2-meter tall person, 200 centimeters or 6.6 in feet. That's for the height comparison. Now inside, we have 456 liters of cargo space. When you knock down the seats, you get 1,548. Now, still the same cargo space, but they've pulled the bench backwards and increased the width of the cargo space. So it's the same capacity, is the same dimensions as the second generation. That's something they're proud of. But they increased the interior space and kept the same cargo space dimensions. Okay, on the top, you have this shelf. Now, pay attention to this. This is kind of sharp. If you try to open this and bump in your head, you can scratch yourself. I did that. This is nice and big, so there's like 2 levels. And this is flat. You can put like a longer umbrella or some other stuff there. Now, I'm not sure if this is for this generation. It looks smaller, but it doesn't fit. There's a gap here. Seats knock down 60/40. And you can see you have grocery hooks on both ends. You have a warm light on the right, plus 12-volt outlet, and you have these anchor points. So we have 3 in the cargo space. So this is one of the things you get here. This is like a, actually this is a rubber mat at the bottom. I thought it was plasticky. Now you can see these anchor points. You get 3 of them in the cargo. Now this side is plain. I wish they added another light, but again, didn't fit the budget. And you have one here on the top. So here you can pull to close. The rest is more or less plain. And here you have a light. So there's an on button here. You can see that. So you can turn it on. It has 2, I think it was 2 levels, maybe not. And you have a USB to charge it. So it has angles, but this is practical if you want to illuminate that. Or you can just take it out and then you can place it here, and then you have dual lights for the cargo illumination. And then you can just, I guess, put this one here. So that's that. Now, don't go using this as an ashtray. It's really not made for that. In the Extreme version, you get a spare wheel underneath. We're going to show you in a moment. So you have this lifter. You can put a fire extinguisher there. So there's a little room on the left side. On the right side, as you can see, it's closed. And you get a full-size spare wheel. Again, Hankook summer tire. I'm not sure why they didn't match it with the all-season Continental tire. So that's that. Now the hybrid version won't have the spare tire. It's going to get a patching kit. You can see the rubberized button and the backing camera. Now I'll do a separate night review of this car, so do subscribe, click the bell to get notified. Now you can see the turn signals and the lights at the bottom is the stoplight. And well, let's get inside here. Now focus on the closing sound. Try to get closer with the mic. They really added good seals in. The doors are wide enough if you need to put a child seat inside. So look at the seals here, here, going all the way down. So the doors are going all the way down as well. That's good when you're washing the car. Now inside here, well, is hard plastic, so more or less the same. Windows are fully automatic. They almost go all the way down, single glazed. Nice big handles, we know, and this is kind of a smaller pocket on the back. You do have a speaker. Now, design-wise, this is looking nice, and you can see the speaker through. And here you can push down to lock if you have kids inside, so if you have a 2-year-old, so you cannot unlock the doors when you're driving. Now Extreme has a textile seats on the sides here, contrasting copper stitching, and we have this recycled material. Now I'm not a huge fan of this because it's hot in summer days, you get sweaty easily. I would prefer a cloth. Now here you can see the ISOFIX. So a lot of things here are Renault inspired or just parts being used from Renault Group. And here you can see seatbelt aligner. Now in order to knock it down, there's a little tab here. Pull it up, then you can knock down the seat. So you can see, I know it's a bit dark inside, but you can see how that looks. So that is that. Now let's jump inside. So again, before I do that, all-weather floor mats, 20% recycled material. Now let's put some dust inside. This is a Duster, right? Okay, plenty of feet room, plenty of knee room. I was on the front, comfortable, and you can see I do have enough room on the back. Again, they've achieved that by, you can see how this is curved going from towards the outside. So they added more width room in the interior. They added more room here for your knees because they've backed the bench towards the back. I explained that with the cargo. You have here textile seats, pockets, well, storage there, I guess, another anchor point, 2 USB-Cs on the back that illuminate for fast charging. Transmission tunnel isn't too tall or too bad. Someone took that out and put it on the place, or wait, okay, doesn't matter. And yeah, so this is more or less soft. You can squeeze a third person on the back, but I would prefer 2 people on the back. It's more comfortable always. Now have a window in the C-pillar and black plastic. Okay, they didn't cover this unfortunately, but I'm sure the Chinese will make up something, so you can order it online and cover that. But they've added this from Renault Group. This is a nice gray textile. It looks more posh inside. Now you have 3 handles. The driver is missing it for some reason, but that's that. And you have warm lights on the top with physical switches, so that is nice. Okay, closing sound from the inside. Good closing sound, finally. In Dacia, you have a hook here on both ends, and voila, that's the beautiful front end. Now let's get to the front, but before we do that, let me just show you headspace. So I cannot straight out 100% without touching the roof, but still, I'm not always fully straight. We always watch our phones, so our heads are slightly towards down, tilted, but yeah, I can fit in here, and for a tall person, it's gonna be fine. For an average person, loads of space. Now let's get on the front because it is summer and it's hot if the AC is not running. Again, excellent closing sound. I think it's even better this time on the back than on the front. So the front, definitely better closing on the back door. Also opens nice and wide. Now there's your tire pressure here. Pay attention to tire pressure when your car is fully loaded with passengers and cargo. Again, slightly better seals. There's another seal here, so that's that. Same materials. Now the Extreme gets this in this green color. The Journey gets it in blue. I personally prefer the blue, but that's just a personal taste. And this is padded slightly, so it's not all that bad. Again, same power windows, all are automatic. You can lock the rear and you can fold the mirrors. They are electronically adjustable. This is nice and sturdy. Speaker there, and this pocket is quite bigger and longer. So, but the bottle fits here, so it's like really far off when you're inside. Now, only the front has this connecting anchors, so it doesn't slide back and forward. I'm not sure why, but again, maybe just budgeting. Push this up to slide the seat back and forward, up and down, tilt. So, no lumbar, but the seats were really bad in the second generation and the first. I would always get like even in city driving, bottom pane here, but finally they invested a budget into these seats. So you can see the materials are the same. This is same material as this one, and they do really look nice. Now they've added a dense foam, and then on top of it like a soft foam. So it's like one of those mattresses that's comfortable to sleep on. And finally the seats are quite decent. You can see another speaker right there. You can see the pedals for the 6-speed manual standard. Electronic parking brake engages automatically and disengages automatically. You can see the steering column is manual. You can see the top. I like the fact that these are black, again from Renault. So let me just show you here. Renault Dacia. And here are the safeties. You can switch them off. Here are the traction off, LED headlights height adjustment, and auto start stop off. Jumping inside. Okay. Let me do that one more time. Okay, closing sounds okay, but it's better on the back seat. Switching to wide lens. Now there will be point of view driving with no talking, so you can see and hear the car on the road. There's going to be separated night point of view driving, where I'm going to summon my impressions on the road. Zooming back in. Now as you can see, the car system will go to save mode, so we'll switch it off, but I'm going to come back to it. Now let's focus on the steering wheel. Actually, wait, let me just, you can see there's a start stop button there. I need some AC. Actually, I'll just start the engine as well. A little spoiler, but I need some air. Okay, gonna increase the fan here. I'm gonna come back to it, don't worry. Okay, steering wheel, it's a 3-spoke, but look at this. This is the one we have in the Austral, for example, or Megane E-Tech. So they've added the new Dacia horn with a new logo. They've kept the, well, buttons that we already had. Now this is nice and squishy. This is also on the smooth side, and it really feels good and posh in your hand. Now I like the fact there's no piano black as well. This is like matte silver. So here you have the set for the speed, set here for the speed recognition, and you have here the cruise settings, speed limiter, and so on. Light switch is automatic, keep it on automatic, especially at night. Wiper controls, and that's that. Now we have here a new design for these, so close and open. You can see that they've actually copied the LED headlights or daytime running lights design as well. A little air vent going to the side. There's a speaker in the A-pillar, and look at this. They've made an angle here so you can see better pedestrian area. This is a bit of a blind spot, and this is a bit of a blind spot for the traffic light sometimes, but the windshield is actually kind of short, and yeah, this is a bit limiting, but we'll come back to that in the driving review. There is some air, so I'm just going to lower the fan speed here. And okay, so obviously hard plastic, it's still a budget brand, but nice looking. I like the signature here, Duster, and design is really nice. You have the anchor here for the phone holder, but it's kind of resonating. It's a bit flimsy. The rest is not resonating, but the phone holder is just a bit flimsy. Now, start stop button, so no key anymore, or at least not physical cylinder. You have here for the volume, press both to mute. You have the source mode and the volume, radio station switch. So that's something I think you already know. Now, infotainment, finally, nice new infotainment. It's fast. It has a great screen and great resolution. I'm going to come back to that a bit later. And great digital cockpit. So this is a TFT screen. This is a digital LCD screen. Now, I'm going to come back to this as well, but looking finally great. This is the first Duster with the digital cockpit on the front. Now, on the top here, you have the button to go to minimal display, or to go to the standby, or screen cleaning, and then just stop twice to exit. And then there's the volume on the top. So that's that. I'm gonna come back to the infotainment. AC vents below, so the screen is on the top, so your eyes are closer to the road. You have nice buttons up and down press for the AC, fan speed, max, below on the front, rear defrost, automatic. So now here you have the automatic, fast, or soft. So I'm just gonna lower that fan speed, and you can close the air circulation, max AC, and then the air direction. You can see it on the screen there. And you have the climate off. You have the hazard. You can't see it in the mirrors, unfortunately. Wish something they could add, but you can see it on the screen there. And lock, so the car will of course lock when you start driving, automatically unlock when you stop. And put it to park. Now here is a little room. It's plasticky. Not sure what this is for, design wise, but actually, okay, and it's just a rough texture. I thought for a moment it was rubberized. It's not. 12-volt outlet, so you have one inside and in the cargo space. Again, 2 USBs, so on the front and rear. Wireless charger is an option. Fast charging, and this is nice and rubberized, so it's an option, as I've mentioned it. Yes, okay. And a 6-speed manual, I've said that as well. Standard on all models. Now in the Extreme package, you get this off-road, so you have here Eco automatic. It will detect the surface you're driving on and automatically adjust. And then here you have the snow, sand, or mud, and this is the all-wheel drive. And then this one's the downhill assist. You don't have to use the brake. The car will use the engine and brake for you when you're going downhill, so you can have both of your hands and all your focus on the steering wheel and driving. Now if I go here to the lock, you're gonna see here four-wheel drive lock. If I go to the automatic or other modes, it just goes away. Now also no piano black, so it looks great. Now here you can put your key fob if the battery inside is low, and here you have 2 cup holders. This one's bigger size, maybe put a pen here. This is plastic, it's not rubberized. Now this material is also the same recycled, but you can see it goes easy dirty. I mean, you can clean this off, you know, a little wet microfiber towel, and you can clean it off. Now this is big here. Actually, I have a water bottle here, so you can see that. Now let me see how deep this is. Wow, this really is deep because you can fit a lot, so you can see those as well. This one's smaller, but they're not adjustable. Obviously added just a little bit budget to that as well, but this is still a massive upgrade. Now here you can put some parking cards or maybe a change, and that's that. It doesn't extend, so it is what it is. No ISOFIX on the front. You can see they try to maximize the headspace all the way to the back. And not to forget, okay, so yeah, it slams. I've grabbed it automatically, so it doesn't drop down. This goes here. You can see there's this grabbing mechanism. It has a little spring, and you know, you can change it. You can reorient. This one, it has rubber, so it doesn't damage your phone. It extends, so, but you know, it just shakes when it's on the dash. Now, the glove compartment is nice and big. You also have room for pen, for business cards, and so on. So here's the price in Croatia. Base price is $26,700 for the, again, 130 horsepower all-wheel drive. Now, note, I've heard of whispers there will be all-wheel drive with the automatic in the future. We might get maybe a bit stronger petrol engine. We're going to see that, but that's just a whisper. I didn't tell you that. You can see here city package, so 360 cameras, almost 500 euros, 18-inch alloys, almost 400 euros, spare wheel, 150 euros, techno package with the electric parking brake and wireless phone charging, live navigation, and that's 690, almost 700 euros, and metallic oxidized green color is almost 600 euros. So with all the taxes, 25% value added tax in Croatia, amongst the higher in the EU. So 29,000 euros for this test model. This one's nice. It extends actually to the top, and there's another anchor here. So this one's like a grocery hook, and that is that. Just gonna put this one back inside there. Now, view on the back is further away, a bit narrow, but okay. Light switches, emergency call, passenger airbag information, and then this one is a classical flip style. Again, looking nice, but they haven't invested in the top insulation, only in this part. And you can see here, privacy mirror, no light. You have the documents holder, and this does not extend. There's this area shining, so that's that. Now, headspace. Well, there's plenty of headroom, so that is that. Now you can see the hood is nice and tall when you're driving, but it's a bit obstructive, but you do have 360 cameras. Now let's come to the digital cockpit. Okay, so you have here this button and these two arrows, so you can change views. So this one's like minimalist. This one adds the distance or the lane, and this one has the revolutions. Now on the side, you can see the default is full screen. Then you can have the navigation, you can have the eco monitor, you can have the, for the extreme version, the angle and the compass. You can have the energy flow. So when you're braking, you are charging the, again, 48 volt battery. And when you let go, when you're coasting, it's also using the battery to run the car mostly. Here's the odometer. You press the OK button here to reset that. And then here is the fuel consumption. Now I'll do a fuel consumption later, but this is a brand new car, so the engine needs to be a little bit worked out. Okay, so infotainment, where to start? I've showed you the AC, so there is no AC menu as far as I've noticed. You can turn it on or off here. So this C doesn't change anything. You have to, so you can press here, but nothing happens. You do need to use these. Now, you do have a pull-down menu. So you have the shortcuts on the top here. So this brings you to settings. Now, the whole menu is this. And we have here radio. So we have here a list. And so let me just play some music here. Actually, I'm not sure if we're in a signal zone. Let me just. Okay, I can't play it for too long, but I don't have all the receptions here. I'm kind of a no phone zone. Let me see here. Okay, sound system's okay. You can play here with the what kind of sound you want. You can play with the normalized volume, balance feeder, front manual, center, tone control, and volume speed. So I haven't played with that too much, but you have all the options. Now, when you go to the radio, here we have the source. So we have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, standard USB, Bluetooth, and FM, DAB radio. Phone, you can connect your phone. I haven't. Navigation is by here. It takes a moment to load. Now, you can see here there's a speed limit. Now, the new cars in the EU have to have a sound warning when you're going over the speed limit. It's annoying, but you also have it in the navigation as well. I found a way to turn it off in the navigation, but here I did not found a way. There is an infotainment. It says it's off, but it keeps beeping. Now, the navigation is finally nice and fast. Look at this. Okay, not sure why this won't go off. When I'm driving, I can switch it off, but you can see this is, oh, there's so much traffic. Everyone's going to the coast in Croatia vacation, but as you can see, this is nice and fast, and it just works great. You have the 3D buildings and so on. A little bit of the navigation here. We have the routing. So I'm just gonna scroll, you pause. Now this is for the speed, so you have to speed limit. So you have to switch this one off and put a tolerance, and parking, map display, points of interest, language, units, appearance, day and night. So there's that. There's the night look. It looks really great, to be honest. I haven't played with this one. I just wish it was automatic though, but it is what it is. Moving on. So here you have those shortcuts that you have on the home menu. There is the apps shortcuts. So here the devices in Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Here's the car settings. So you can see the 360 cameras. Again, they haven't invested in the resolution, but it serves its purpose. All road info. Then you can go here to the cameras, and here I guess have the angle of the car as well. Driving, here you have the eco coach and how much energy. I'm idling now, so the fuel consumption is spiking because of the AC. Outside access, pause and read. Cockpit, excuse me. Screen. Brightness, and there's this ambience color, so you can see these just change. If you go to blue, you can see that changes. So and that changes. So that's something you can customize. I like the green. It's kind of relaxing. You have the edit widgets, so you can here have all of those for the home screen. Excuse me. And here you have the driving assistance. So you can have personal or everything on. You can see here comfort, parking, and settings. You have the sound settings here. Now I'm not going to go through all the sounds. You can see here Bluetooth, privacy, apps, so car menu, phone, and so on. System, units, language, Android Auto, update and assistance, over the air updates, connect your phone, vehicle update. Actually, I don't think we have internet connection here, but you can check for updates there. And this is a shortcut for the same menu, so it really looks great. This is finally great. I'm gonna hook Apple CarPlay later and put it in. See the new icon when you connect to the Apple CarPlay. So this is the screen. The resolution is amazing. This is fairly fast, slightly lagging when I'm recording with my iPhone, but it works nice and fluid when I'm not recording, obviously. And press here to return to the car menu. But overall, great infotainment finally in the Duster. And that's it, ladies and gents. We're gonna wrap it here. I will turn off the car just to show you here. So up and first gear for reverse. And also, If you're in automatic, this gear ratio is different. If you go to the all-wheel drive, if you lock it here, then it feels like natural for the gear ratio. But if you go to the automatic, the gear ratio is really short, and it's just for, you know, I guess better fuel consumption. But that's that. Let me just rev it a little bit. Actually, I can do it in neutral. So the petrol's a bit loud, but it's well soundproofed inside, and I'm going to show you now in a moment just if this semi passes. So it just brought a lot of dust up because they have like a quarry a little bit down the road. Yeah, switch it off. Now let's show you the bonnet. Now another thing, so they've increased the space, but look at this. That's something I forgot to mention, but luckily I've memorized. So this is nice and flat now. Before the Duster was like a Coca-Cola bottle there. Now it's nice and straight, so they've popped the inside part that was going inwards before, so they allowed more interior space inside. And here, it's right here, just a bit off the center to the right, push to the left to open the gas struts. So let me just back up here. You can see the whole front bonnet open. Now we don't have the automatic tailgate, but maybe in the fourth generation. You can see again, 3-cylinder, turbocharged, petrol. There is a small electric motor, maybe that, I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere, probably maybe on the bottom or in the back, is the small battery I've mentioned for the mild hybrid, 48 volt. And that's that. The washer fluid is here, and I wish they would mark it in blue color, but it's not yellow like in Renault, but it's black right there. And it says here, big sign, don't pressure wash your car. Now, they've added this sound insulation rubber pieces here. And look at this, you have gas struts, which is really nice. Let it drop, closes perfectly. But before we end the video, small detail, but important one. Look at this, you see that right there? So that's foam, and they've insulated this part, the engine base, so you have less noise from the engine coming inside the cabin. You can see here the washer nozzles. But yeah, that's that. Once again, the car looks great. I love the new third generation. Feels better on the road. I would personally go for the Journey trim, the hybrid. That one has the 4-cylinder naturally aspirated plus 2 electric motors. But this is for those of you who are a little bit hesitant towards the hybrids. But I know a lot of you are interested in the hybrids. I will have the hybrid Journey trim hopefully in a separate review. I did do a quick review on the channel. You can check that out if you're here on this video for the first time. And then welcome to the channel, and do subscribe, click the bell to get notified, because there's going to be more videos about this car, like a night review. There's going to be point of view driving, as I've mentioned, and night point of view driving. Well, I'm going to summon my review, a little bit of maybe consumption. We're going to see. I'm going to wrap it here. The video is a bit long, so thank you for watching. I would really appreciate it if you would like this video, share it, especially on Dacia forums, helps me a lot, and others who are looking at this car, because this is probably the most detailed review on the YouTube. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers. I think I'm missing 500 to get there. So I would appreciate your subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye.